Hey everyone out there, this is the Rock Office. I'm your host, Bill Smith.
And I'm Kevin Davis.
Thanks for tuning in this week. We have a great show ahead for you with a brand new top 10 list, pick of the week, my need to know, and 2K, and from the vault. For this week's top 10 list, we have the top 10 most influential rap songs of all time. Now, rap nowadays is a very popular mainstay in pop music catalogs, but it wasn't always that way. In the past 30 years, rap and hip-hop, and believe me, there is a difference between rap and hip-hop, has really come a long way. So today, we've brought you our top 10 picks of the most influential songs, or in other words, the songs that helped shape and craft rap music to what it is right now. My number 5 pick is Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. The significance of this single is that it was the first rap single to hit #1 spot in the Billboard Hot 100 charts, which up until this time, no other rap artist was able to do.
The number 5 pick I have is Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, The Message. Now this was the first song that really made rap prominent and brought it basically to more of a lyrical social commentary. Basically took rap out of the house parties and took it into more of the social poetry platform. So, great pick.
Alright, my number 4 is MC Hammer, You Can't Touch Us. Once again, it's easy to laugh at Hammer, especially when you look at the parachute pants and the dancing and everything that went with it. But truth of the matter is, every hip-hop artist today needs to tip their hat to MC Hammer because rap would not be where it is if it wasn't for this man. The contributions that he brought the art form, and started right here with this song.
My number 4 is Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight. The song came out of nowhere in 1979 to really emerge on the scene as a very prominent rap tune. One of the first tunes that actually hit the top 40s. Really brought disco to more of a rap sound, and a case could definitely be made that if it weren't for this song, the hip-hop genre just really wouldn't exist.
I agree. Alright, my number 3 pick is Blondie, Rapture. Now, Blondie was known in the early 80s as a new wave band, and for them to step out like they did and create a song that used elements of the then underground and blossoming rap form was very cutting edge and very new wave. And I really think that if it wasn't for Blondie really taking a bold step, that rap would not be where it is today. So hats off to Blondie, my number 3 pick.
Great song. My number 3 pick is Dr. Dre's Nothing But a G Thing. Now, Nothing But a G Thing took gangster rap and brought it to a wide audience. Its mass appeal really is the reason that I picked this particular song. If it weren't for this song, doors wouldn't have been open for many rap artists throughout the years afterwards.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Alright, my number 2 is Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, The Message. Kevin already had it on his list. Great pick. One of the first rap songs to really use social commentary and to paint a really accurate and not pretty picture of inner city lifestyle, especially in the early 80s. First artist inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. First hip-hop artist inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So my number 2 is Grandmaster Flash, The Message.
It's a great pick. My number 2 pick is Africa Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force's Planet Rock. Now, Planet Rock is one of those first songs that actually had a video that went along with it. African Bambaataa, one of the first rap hip-hop artists that was the 5 pillars of the culture, and that was MCing, DJing, breakdancing, graffiti artists, and beatboxing. Now, great song. If you've ever seen the video, a wild video. Just one of those really that was a foundation of the actual culture and of the genre.
It's actually a shame that hip-hop artists have really gotten away from those 5 pillars these days, because I think the new hip-hop, the new MCs can really learn a lot from the forefathers that incorporated those. It's a good pick.
Thank you.
Every time I hear it, I want to pop and lock. My number 1 pick is Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight. This song is the blueprint of rap music. If rap has a family tree, this song is the trunk. Every song that has come afterwards is taken basically from the formula that these 3 guys created back in 1979. Why Sugar Hill Gang is not inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is beyond me. We talked about that in the previous episode, but my number 1 most important, most influential hip-hop song of all time, Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper Delight.
Love the pick.
Thanks.
In my top 5, your top 1. Very good. My number one pick is Curtis Blow, The Breaks. Now this was big because it was the first certified gold single for any rapper. Curtis Blow was one of the first rappers to actually sign on to a major record label, one of the first rappers to actually go out and perform a national concert series and an international concert series. He blew the doors wide open for rap in general. That's why he's my most influential song and artist.
Those are all great picks. And as always, you can see our full top 10 list on our Tumblr page, which is therockoffice.tumblr.com. And you can read our past picks as well.
Also, make sure to check us out on Facebook. Very simply, facebook.com/rockoffice.
We are now also on Twitter at twitter.com/the_rock_office. So make sure you follow us there. All right, for my pick of the week this week, we have Blitzen Trapper, American Gold Wing. These guys were brought to my attention this year when they performed at the South by Southwest Music Festival in Austin, and I've been hearing rave things about them, not only from my friends in Austin who have seen them, but they're blowing up the reviews, and a lot of critics are really praising these guys on the web. So I wanted to bring you a little bit of what I thought is a band that you really enjoy up and coming. You have a lot of influence, especially a lot of classic rock, real interesting mixture here. We got a little bit of Led Zeppelin, a little bit of Steve Miller Band, a little bit of the band, a lot of Big Star influence with a little bit of Counting Crows thrown in for good measure just to modernize it a little bit. Now these guys have been really hitting the tour circuit hard. They recently performed on David Letterman's show. The song they did is called Might Find It Cheap, which is a brilliant, brilliant song. You can actually catch that performance on YouTube, which is excellent. But some of the other standout tracks include Fletcher, Love the Way You Walk Away, and Taking It Easy Too Long. For fans of those bands that I mentioned, and for those of you who really kind of aren't too thrilled with real modern country acts or real modern rock acts and want just kind of a throwback to how rock used to be, I think you'd really enjoy this pick. So this week, once again, Blitzen Trapper, American Gold Wing. You can go around and pick that up at your local record store today. This week's N2K artist is Blind Pilot. The name of the album is called We Are the Tide. Now, Blind Pilot is on tour this summer with Dave Matthews Band. They'll be stopping at the Cleveland area June 3rd at the Blossom Music Center. And these guys have a real eclectic blend of instrumentation, and their harmonies are really exquisite. There's a lot of unique instruments that you really rarely hear these days, and it's a good blend of folk, indie, and world music. It reminds me a little of how Rusted Root was in the 1990s with their emerging world music sound that they combined with the alternative music to bring such hits as Send Me On My Way. I really think you guys would like this. This is a Saturday morning music, as I'd like to call it. Real mellow, real laid back, but like I said, the musicianship is incredible. Some of the standout tracks include Half Moon, which is the lead-off track on the album. Really brilliant song. Another song called Keep You Right. Just Right is the other song that I really like. But the best song on the album is called The Colored Night. This song is absolutely brilliant. Just a really sweet love song. If it were on the radio now, I'm sure that it would be a big hit. Just really, really enjoyed this album. I really think this is a band that you need to know. They're on the horizon as a up-and-coming band. And I think it's real interesting that Dave Matthews Band actually selected these guys to go on the road with them, because they're not really what one typically would associate with DMB, because DMB really brings a lot of high energy, a lot of great musicianship, which this band also has. But these guys are real mellow, real laid back, very interesting, and I really enjoy it. Like I said, this is a real good Saturday morning CD just to throw in and you want to relax, drink your coffee, and read the morning paper. Once again, that album is Blind Pilot, We Are the Tide. Alright, this week's From the Vault selection is Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys. Adam Yauch recently passed away, or you may know him better as MCA, and they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last month, and I'm glad that he hung in around long enough to receive that honor and that acknowledgement from his peers in the musical community. Here at the Rock office, our condolences go out to the band and family members of Adam and Yauch. But we wanted to showcase this album because it not only is a great album, it's not only a great hip-hop album, but it's just a great band that has brought groundbreaking, trailblazing music to an entire generation. This album, in my opinion, is one of the two last true hip-hop albums, the other one being De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising. This album came out in 1999, right on the cusp of when sampling was being questioned for its artistic integrity, and a lot of lawsuits were being brought up, and actually the Beastie Boys recently just got slapped with a lawsuit from sampling. But using samples and creating beats out of that is really one of the essence of hip-hop that has been taken away, that I think really has done great damage to the art form. But on this album, just many incredible songs like Eggman, Shake Your Rump, Hey Ladies, which is the big single off of this album, High Plain Drifter, and Shadrach. Great album, and I don't know where the Beastie Boys are going to go on from here. Probably going to decide to part and go their separate ways, but we are thankful for the legacy that they brought us. And you hear music like this, it really hits home the contribution these guys made, and how sad it is that one of the members of this band is no longer with us. So once again, all these selections are available at your local record store. Make sure you run and pick those up. All right, this week's Battle Royale, we have the biggest Battle Royale that we've had for you yet so far, and it's per viewer request. Just to let you know, we do read our emails, we do see our comments on the Facebook and Twitter pages. We thank you for them, and per viewer request, we have this week in this corner the Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, and in this corner Johnny Cash, the Man in Black, two of the biggest pillars in the hall of rock and roll. Kevin?
I'm really excited about this one. These are two individuals that you really kind of hate to have to put up against one another. It's like watching two of the best heavyweights just sock it out in the ring. I can't wait to kind of get into this, Bill, so why don't we do that?
All right. Well, my pick for this Battle Royale is Johnny Cash. Now, the reason I ultimately went with the Man in Black is not necessarily his voice, because there are very few people that can sing as well as Elvis did. And it's not for any kind of weird pompous thing that associated with the king, because there was a while there where Johnny was kind of really obscure and weird. The sole reason I went with the Man in Black is for songwriting. Johnny Cash is one of my favorite songwriters of all time. You know, Folsom Prison Blues, just to name the one song, is absolutely fantastic. Now, you know, they were both part of the $1 Million Quartet. They were both on Sun Records. Sam Phillips signed them in the mid-50s. Both extremely important, both inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. For this one, it's very tight for me, but I give it to Johnny Cash, because if you compare both of their careers, Johnny Cash ended his life, ended his legacy on a high note, still recording very critically acclaimed music, while unfortunately Elvis had sucking down to the depths of white jumpsuits, cheesy Vegas lounge shows, and overweight banana eating sandwich, lamb chop wearing joke of himself. So my pick, Man in Black. Kevin?
Well, this week, Bill, I actually am going with Elvis. You know, I truly believe that three of the biggest pillars of rock and roll were Elvis, Little Richard, and Jerry Lee Lewis. Given the fact that he's one of my major effects in regards to just overall shape of rock and roll today, I had to go with him. I do understand where you're coming at with the songwriting. Johnny Cash, great songwriter, loved him. But Elvis, he was in my eyes, he was really one of the greatest performers that there ever was. He was the greatest singer, definitely of the time, certainly one of the best ever. So it's really tight. I do agree with you there. But Elvis, he definitely takes the cake with me. I do agree. He had some downtimes there at the end, whereas he was battling some issues with drugs, and obviously, ultimately, that is what took his life. But given the fact that he had such a career prior to that, and really was one of the shapers of rock and roll, there's a lot of individuals out there that would probably agree with me that he is definitely one of the pillars and deserves the victory this week, Bill.
Well, ultimately, you know what we think. We'd like to know what you think. And in this case, I don't really feel there's a bad or wrong choice, because they're both legendary people. Both contributed great things to the history of rock and roll and pop music. And quite frankly, without either men, music would not be what it is today. So we know what you know what we think. Let us know what you think. Down below on our Facebook page, you have an opportunity to vote in this week's poll. Who's it going to be? Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, or is it going to be Johnny Cash, the man in black? We want to hear from you. I want to thank you for tuning in this week. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Once again, just to remind you, you can now follow us at Twitter at _rock_office. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/rockoffice.
Make sure to pick us up on iTunes. Put us in your subscribed category. You'll be the first to get one of the new episodes when they come out. Just search us out on the podcast section. Put in the Rock Office. We pop right up there.
We want to thank you for all the support that you guys have been giving us. We love hearing back from you, your emails, your comments on Facebook. It really means a lot. That's why we're doing what we're doing, because you guys are giving us such great feedback and just showing your appreciation. So please remember to like what we post. Please remember to share it out there. And always remember, support your local record stores by buying the physical copies of music instead of the downloaded version. Thank you. God bless. We'll see you next time.
Take care.